Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play Super Mario Land 2. 6 golden coins for the Super Game Boy. Last time, we hit 2 birds with 1 stone by taking down Mario Zone and Macro Zone. And at this point in the playthrough, I've more or less decided that as far as the secret exits are concerned, I'm more or less just going to be saving those for a separate video. So I'm just going to be playing through the zones normally, and then I'll get to those by the time the last level opens up. So yeah, let's head into the seaside zone next, or turtle zone. I don't know why I called it the sea zone, but it's underwater. Does it really make a goddamn difference? So I apologize if anybody was expecting a super analytical, playthrough of Super Mario Land 2, despite what I might have, hinted at before. I didn't really do too much studying up on this game. I might do, some kind of, portion of the playthrough where I talk about the development history, which I'm pretty sure there's not a whole lot of stuff to talk about, honestly. But, I'll probably do that, and that's about the extent of it. This isn't going to be like Mega Man or Metroid, where I'm going to super take things apart and explain what works and what doesn't. If I feel the need to, and if it comes up, I'll talk about it. But, otherwise, I mean, I'm just going to be playing through the game normally. I'm just going to be talking about my experiences, my, thoughts on some certain elements, I guess. But I'm not going to be, going super in-depth or whatever. This is meant to be sort of a casual playthrough, and if you're not about that life, then, well, all I can say is I can either redirect you to my Metroid videos, or you can probably go watch somebody else, and that decision is entirely up to you. But, I should probably talk about why I like Super Mario Land 2, and I'm pretty sure it's kind of a shallow reason. Well, by that I mean like it less than, Mario Land 1, and I enjoy both games pretty fairly, honestly. But the real reason for me, honestly, it's a pretty shallow one, but it's kind of understandable at the same time. 2 reasons, actually. As I've stated before, I think Mario Land 2 is a really, really easy game. It's kind of got that, Mario World level of exploitation where it's easy to, super cheese levels. Or, the levels are too short, or, again, this is super easy for a Mario game. Outside of, maybe a handful of scenarios, which are mostly bonus content-wise related anyway, Mario Land 2 will probably not really give you a run for your money. Oh, and some of the bosses, maybe, kind of, sort of. That and, I appreciate the attention to detail that Mario Land 2 has, especially with it having more detailed sprites and shit. But, oh wow, that was just a straight up trap, and I'm surprised I actually stopped that bullet bill, because I was underwater and in awkward positioning to even hit the damn thing in the first place. But, not only that, but I don't think anything for me personally is going to top the weirdness that is Super Mario Land 1, because, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm an easy guy to please for the most part when it comes to platformers, and when you have fucking China for your final level, then it's it's little things like that. They're very little things. I'd still say I'd rank, Mario Land 1 and 2 pretty closely, but it's really subtle elements like those 2 things that make me slightly prefer Mario Land 1 over the other. And I guess, it's kind of like Metroid 2 where, yeah, I realize it's got a lot of objective flaws, but it's still just a lot of fun for me to play, and that's what video games should be. I know I might have said this before already, but I'm going to reiterate it again, damn it, because people aren't tired of hearing my voice, woo! But, if a game is fun to you, and even if, it's probably the worst game in the world, like Mega Man X6 or something, and you still like it, even if you probably don't have a constructive argument to back up why or something, who cares, right? It's all about, you. If you like a game and others don't, then, for fuck's sake, like, don't worry about it. People are so, like, into this thing where, like, they have to like these games because other people like them, or it's popular to hate on one game or another. And I'll hear this from people with Final Fantasy 13, for example, all the time, where you have your fans that either hate the game to death or love the game to death. And, you know, I really don't like Final Fantasy 13 either, I'll be completely honest. But, like, for those people who find enjoyment in the game in some different way, I mean, I'll criticize some points, you know, obviously. Like, if, you know, their objective arguments make no sense. But at the end of the day, if they like it, who fucking cares? Like, you can criticize somebody for making wrong arguments that aren't objective, but, like, if it's... in the end, you can't really hate somebody for liking a game either. That's on them. That's on them, damn it. And oh my god, I just now realized that I'm already almost maxed out on coins. This game is a fucking cakewalk. Though I guess I should be, at least in some way, shape, or form, admitted of the fact that, like, you know, at least in the case of, this game, it's not as life-happy as New Super Mario Bros. 2, which is, like, the most uninspired, like, 2D Mario game to date. Like, it's fine mechanically. The level design is okay, but god damn it, it's just not inspired. Like, you know, I guess this does seem kind of contradictory because I'll sit there and, like, judge Mega Man games on their own merits. But here's the difference, people. Like, at least with Mega Man games, you're traveling through completely new levels per game. I mean, yeah, they might not change too much mechanically, but you have all these new levels, new ideas. It's still, you know, a fresh game in that sense, right? And then when it comes to New Super Mario Bros., you have, like, these same level tropes thematically, structurally. It's like, I play games like New Super Mario Bros. 2, and I'm like, it's fine mechanically, but, like, I've seen this shit already in New Super Mario Bros. 1. Like, same kind of level design and everything, like, the whole 9 yards. Like, it's one thing to repeat level thematics, but for fuck's sake, don't repeat, like, the same level design tropes over and over again. It just pisses me off. Ugh. Also, we're in the belly of a well. I guess, Mario did it first then, huh? Like, well, I think, yeah, this game did come out before Link's Awakening, didn't it? Yeah, Mario did it first, not Zelda. So take that, fucking nerds. So what's weird about the mucus here is that it kind of functions like the tree sap in, like, the tree zone area too, where it kind of functions like water almost. But you can kind of hold the A button. Well, actually, not exactly. No. Yeah, it's a little bit different because it works like water, but it kind of doesn't. Like, you're still stuck in, like, a swimming animation, but, like, because you're, well, not really stuck in a swimming animation, you're stuck in a jumping animation, but I think the main difference and takeaway from this is that you can still land on enemies pretty safe. Well, no, what am I saying? I landed on that bullet bill just fine in the previous level. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I feel like I get more airspeed out of, like, swimming in water than I do swimming in mucus. It's little things like that. But, like, mechanically, as far as, like, the controls are involved for going through the mucus and water, it's kind of the same, honestly. And I just murdered that boss before he got a chance to do anything. Oh, Mario Land 2. Like, he's supposed to, like, spawn, like, little babies or minions or whatever, but I really just didn't give him the chance in the world to do so, so... Ha. Ha ha. Ha! And with that, that is the sea... Why do I keep calling it the sea zone? The fucking turtle zone. And right now we're heading into the pumpkin zone, and this one right here is what I was talking about with the fucking, like, Casey Jones looking ass mask animes, and, well, I think that's the wrong analogy to give it, honestly. I don't know what they're called, but they're like the masked hockey mask looking chainsaw bludgeoning looking figures or whatever. And yeah. But of course, as to be expected, you'll probably see a few boos along the way as well. Just keep on the lookout for that. If you played a Mario game before, then you'll know that you can't really fight these enemies unless you have something overpowered like a Starman on hand, for example. What's really cool about this level is that there are plenty of hypes you can take that go to different secret routes, and it's kind of got like that Sonic level design mentality where you have like your low and high routes to an extent. And if you can take the high route all the way, you actually gain access to the secret level and other beneficial things along the way. Also, I can't seem to take that pipe for some reason. Okay, there it is. But yeah, this level's kind of got like a split path, like kind of like mentality to it, sort of. Or was it just for one section? I could have sworn it was for the whole level. Oh, wow. Yeah, it kind of does. But I think it does it like really late into the level too. Never mind then. Forget any credit I had to give for this game. And you know what? Since this is here, I might as well take care of this. And you have a fucking Dracula for like an enemy. Like, you can't say that about any other Mario games. Like, I love shit like that. Like, what the fuck is Dracula doing in my Mario game? Like, it probably wouldn't make sense in any other Mario game if you're using generic Mario level design tropes, but like, in a game like Mario Land 2 where the game is so goofy and like creative, like, it definitely doesn't feel out of place. And haunted umbrellas, oh my god, who would have thunk? What's weird about these little platforms right here is that they kind of work like the little gears in like Mario Zone, where they have different layers of where you can land on and kind of climb up them that way. And that's kind of the same case with these things where they function like this. You wouldn't know that looking at them from first glance, but yeah, it's a little bit weird. This is definitely my second favorite zone, though. It's definitely a bit out there. My favorite zone is the last one we're going to be tackling in the next video or so. So, look forward to that. Oh, and this little section here is cool. You have, like, these different pipes and paths you can take, but the real, like, tricky part here is trying to manipulate these boos in order to, like, create a path. And you can potentially get screwed if you get yourself caught in a corner. So don't put yourself in situations like that. Oh no. And this is a good section to pick up some goodies with the spin jump. One thing I didn't mention though is that one downside to actually having the carrots over the fire flower, or hell, the super mushroom even, is that for some reason, like, I forgot to mention this as well. The bunny ears also allow you to jump a bit higher, and if you hold the A button, you can also auto jump, which is kind of weird. You can't do this normally, but like if you hold the A button with the bunny ears equipped, like you can jump higher. And I thought I still had my star power. Damn it! Where is my train of thought? Damn it! But yeah, the other weird thing about it too is that I guess because of the physics associated with the bunny ears or something, I couldn't tell you. It apparently does not allow you to spin jump. So if you ever find yourself in situations where you feel like your spin jump isn't coming out for whatever fucking reason, that's generally going to be the case as to why that's happening. So, in a way, like, the bunny ears are, like, really good, but, like, at the same time, like, Nintendo thought to themselves, we need to kind of give this item a repercussion, so it's not like the one-all be-all for every situation like the cape was in, like, Super Mario World. Like, let's be honest, like, if you're good with the cape, like, that cape can take down anything. That thing was spin attack on steroids. And the fact that you could basically infinite fly, like, there was no reason to use the Fire Flower, like, at all. Also, I know how to jump. I know how to space my jumps well, because I'm totally good at this game, I swear. But yeah, like, Nintendo, you know, actually thought to give this item repercussions by not giving you the overpowered spin jump, which, while nerfed compared to Super Mario World, yeah, is still a really good move in its own right. There's no reason not to use it, really. But, like, you know, stuff like that really shows that Nintendo actually does keep in conscious mind that, you know, maybe we should kind of tone down some of our items along the way and make them not entirely too broken. And I didn't really think, you know, the raccoon suit was really that broken in Mario 3, to be honest. At least that had, like, a limited time as to how long you could fly. At least, like, the range on the tail was pretty short, so you couldn't just, like, spam it for free. It didn't have, like, super low cooldown or whatever, like the cape did. Like, that was something you had to carefully space, and even then, it didn't wipe out everything, so in some situations, you're just better off just flat out jumping. But yeah, why is the cape so fucking busted in Super Mario World, I swear? Maybe that's why it never came back. Maybe that was why when they brought it back and Mario 3D World, they thought to themselves, maybe we shouldn't bring back the cape. I think it was maybe just a little bit too overpowered. Like, the raccoon was good for nostalgia, but at least it was, like, fairly balanced to an extent. At least there was a reason to use the Fire Flower over it in some cases. Also, I don't have a Fire Flower on hand, speaking of which. I could use that. Fire Flowers are so good for bosses in this game, I swear to God. And this one can actually be tricky too, if you're not paying attention to little environmental details as well. So why am I not going through some of these pipes? Okay. So this section here is pretty nice if you want to grab a few power-ups and coins. Just take these pipes here, jump up, and hit these invisible blocks, and you can grab a few goodies. Well, the good news in this game is that if you happen to grab the Fire Flower even when you're little, you still revert into Fire Mario regardless anyway. So that's nice. This isn't like, say, Mario 1 or 3 where you just go into Super Mode instead. I guess it has something to do with the programming, since the amount of power-ups you get in those games are somewhat limited, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's NES limitations, but if that was the case, why is that not the case in Super Mario Land 2 then? I couldn't tell you. So this boss right here, you have to pay attention to the projectile she shoots, because whatever she puts the projectile under, it'll basically blast the lid off the pot it's under, and it'll lift you into the spikes. And it's kind of cramped, I'm not gonna lie. One thing I don't like about the bosses in Mario Land 2 is that they all take place in really cramped spaces, because they didn't think to use, like, bigger environments for screen scrolling. But maybe it might have been a design limitation. I don't really know. I don't care. I'm not that big enough of a nerd to really look into the specs and details of stupid shit like that. But, yeah, watch out for that. And as long as you space your jumps well, because of how crowded it is in that fight, it's not too bad. But I can definitely see why it gives other people trouble, too. But anywho, for this, we're going to go ahead and spend our 999 coins on this minigame here. And you can see that there is a big possibility of us gaining 50 lives. Or we can just get 5 random coins. That works too. I'll go ahead and spin it here. See, kids, gambling isn't good. Well, my luck sucks today. Well then. This is why I don't gamble. I do scratch-offs, and that's about the extent of it, damn it. So, I think with that, I'll probably look into this level in the next video or so. I'm not gonna do it now, but next time on Let's Play Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins for the Super Game Boy. We're going to head off into the last zone of the game, and then if we have enough time, we'll see if we can tackle the secret levels. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys then.